Hi, my name is Audra Allen, and I am so grateful to be here with you today to help you reconnect with your body, get back in touch with yourself, let your body have some physical rest, let your brain have some mental rest. I'm just going to share a quick little bit about myself and why I am so grateful I can support you as a caretaker for a loved one that you have. I have now a 4-year-old daughter, but when she was 7 months old, without any previous conditions of any kind, she had unexpected heart failure. And without the expectation to live, she fought through many procedures. And as a result, I immediately went from having a healthy 7-month-old baby to having one that almost didn't make it and now became her full-time medical caregiver. Although she is doing much better now and is stable, which I'm so grateful for, I'm still feeling the effects of the trauma of that process and having shifted from a normal routine for me to taking care of a loved one who could not take care of themselves, and the physical, emotional, mental strain that took on myself and my body, and how I was so consumed by it I couldn't take care of myself. So I hope that this session for you today allows you to just take a moment, give yourself some love, refill your personal cup that you need to focus on in order to continue to give to others. And remember that you are valued and loved and cherished. And what you're doing for others is, undescribably selfless. And as a result, it's time to give back to you. So I hope that you find this session worthwhile, beneficial. There'll be a few different exercises throughout to help your body become more mobile, as well as some deep stretching. I will give some alternate options for some things that are a little bit more intense for you. You know your body best. So if something is uncomfortable but not necessarily back painful, breathe through it. Let your body have a moment to release that tension you're feeling. And I do start and end the session with some breathing exercises, and this will allow you to calm your mind, center yourself, bring yourself to a place of connection, and then allow you to focus on these next 30 minutes for just you. And then hopefully there's tools in here that benefit you that you can then utilize in moments here and there throughout your day. And if you can revisit this if you find the whole session beneficial, to try to do this at least once a week if you can, or something from it to help continue to give yourself a recharging opportunity and reconnect and just feel the love that you have for you and that everyone else sees you give.
We will start by coming forward onto our mat. Feet are hip width apart. Weight forward into the balls of your feet. Bringing your right hand to your heart center and your left hand to your belly. Closing your eyes. Knees are slightly bent. We're going to do a breathing exercise to calm our breathing and become more focused with our thoughts. We're going to breathe in for 4, hold for 4 counts, breathe out for 4 counts, and hold for 4 counts, and repeat that 2 more times. We have breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4, holding 1, 2, 3, 4, let it out 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4. Let it out 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4. Last time, breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, let it out 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4. Bringing our arms down by our sides, we're going to move into circling our wrists and then our ankles. We have circling the wrists 4 counts, and 1, 2, 3, 4, reverse 1, 2, 3, 4, again 1, 2, 3, 4, last set, getting ready to pick up the right ankle and right ankle up, circle 1, 2, 3, 4, reverse 1, 2, 3, switch to the left, and 1, 2, 3, 4, switch, 1, 2, 3, back to the right, and circle 1, 2, 3, 4, and reverse, 2, 3, 4, and left, 2, 3, 4, reverse, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, we have breathe in, arms above the head, looking up as you let out the oxygen. Arms come down, head releases, bend your knees. Again, in, arms up, look up, and out, head relaxed. Breathe in and up, release the air, out, bend your knees and your head. Again, up and out, coming down. Last one, breathing in and out, coming down. Moving into spinal twist. This is my favorite warm-up. Arms come to your side, and then nice and easy with knees bent to swing your arms back and forth, letting your spine start to get more mobile and warm. You can go bigger with the arms and higher, bring it smaller, arms lower. You'll see where it feels good in your spine for this. Go bigger, keep going, letting your head turn into it, starting to come down smaller, letting the twist naturally resolve itself, coming back to neutral. Arms are nice and heavy. Shoulder rolls, bending the knees, roll your shoulders up and back, bend your knees again, roll your shoulders up and back, trying to touch your ears, massaging your neck as you do this. Last one, and reverse. Start with a knee bend up and forward with the shoulders, 2 and 3, last one. Bringing up your right elbow and shoulder roll, up and forward, 2, number 3, and 4, switch left, and forward up, and 2. Bring your elbow all the way behind you to really get that spinal rotation, 3, and 4. Switch back to the right, extend the arm all the way up, looking back as you do this. Now following your hand with your gaze, 3, and 4, switch right, switch left, and 3, and 4. Bringing your arms above you, grabbing your right wrist with your left hand, pull that right arm over to your left side to stretch the right side of your torso, coming up, switch hands. Now pulling your left arm with your right to the right side. Let's do that again. Switch hands to the right wrist and pull to the left. Coming back up, switch and pull to the right. And coming up and release. Coming down to being seated on our mat. You can cross your legs however that makes sense to you, that's comfortable. Sit up nice and tall, lower back is as tall as possible. Back of the neck is long, shoulders are relaxed, hands draped over the knees. Starting with turning our head to the right for a neck warm-up. We have rotating your head to the right as far as possible, keeping shoulders away from ears, center and left, and center, to the right, and center, and left, and center. Again, and right, and center, and left, and center, and right, and center, and left, and center. Tilting our ear to our shoulder, keeping that space there. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder, and neutral, and left, and center, and right. Keep our lower backs long, and left, and center. Again, right, and center. We're stretching through the neck, left, and center. Are you breathing? Dropping chin to chest, and center, keeping our backs long, and up, and center, and down, and center, and up, and center. Again, chin to chest, coming center, looking up, and center, and down, and center, and up, and center. Rolling through our neck, drop your chin to chest, take your head to the right, drop it back down to the chest, and to the left. We're doing half circles here, back down to the center, to the right, down to the center, to the left, and center to the right and center to the left. Finding center and coming up into shoulder rolls. Taking them up and back just like when you were standing. And 3 and 4. And reverse, up and back, sitting nice and tall still. And 2, engage your core muscles while you're doing this. 3 and 4. Check your seated position, revisit how tall you're sitting. We're going to go into stretching our upper backs, bringing your right arm up to the side, bring it across, pulling that right arm across with your left. You can move it out to your forearm to get a deeper stretch. Make sure your shoulders are pressing down. Nice and long, reaching through the outer arm called the tricep. Let's switch it. Bring your left arm out, take it across. Your arm can be over your bicep or down by your forearm, wherever feels good as your shoulders are pressing down. Breathing through this stretch and release. Taking your right arm up over your head, grabbing your right elbow with your left hand, gently pull your right arm behind you as your arm is relaxed to get a tricep stretch along the back of the arm. Head can be relaxed forward here, sitting up nice and tall. And release, switching sides. Left arm up overhead, bend at the elbow, bring your right arm to your left elbow, gently pull that left elbow across, shoulders are down. Head is relaxed forward. Breathing. And release, coming down. Switching onto the side, turning to the side on our bum still. We're now going to stretch the front of our shoulders. Bringing your arms behind you, make sure your fingertips are facing your feet, not the back wall behind you. Coming up just into a simple bridge position. You're going to slowly rock forward into your feet to get a deep stretch up the front of your arm into your shoulders. And coming back and release. Lift up your hips just a little bit, don't have to be very high, and rock forward into your knees to get that stretch up the front of your arm. And pull back and release. And again up, rock it forward. Coming back and release. Last one, coming up and forward, keeping your shoulders down away from your ears. And breathing, coming back, and last release. Coming forward to sitting on our mat again. Crossing your legs that makes sense to you, that are comfortable. Adjust your clothes. What do you need to do? Nice and tall lower back. We're going to bring our arm up overhead, across the right knee to do a spine twist to the right. Turning your head to the back, keeping your left hip on the floor to stay nice and grounded. We're doing different spinal twists for the next focus, just to stretch the different parts of your body. Bring that left arm up overhead to release. Switch sides. Right arm up. Take it across to your left knee. Use that resistance pressing into your left knee to help you rotate to the back. Your right arm can be behind you, supporting you into the twist. Left hip and right hip are both on the floor. Bring that arm up and let it go. We're going to now bring our right leg on top of our left leg, bringing our right sits bone to the mat, so we're not sitting just on one side. We're going to go into a deeper spine twist. The left arm comes up, goes across to your right knee, and resist and push into it to rotate around. Imagine your back is wrapping around a pole, so you're not sitting into your lower back, but you're nice and tall and lifted. And release, arm comes up to unwind. Keeping that same leg on top, now we're switching sides. Bring your right arm up, grab the top leg, do what you need to do here, hold on the ankle, press into the knee, spinal twist to the other side. Keeping that right sits bone on the floor. Release it. You're going to switch out the legs that are on top. You might find that this side feels funkier compared to the other. That's okay. One side is probably tighter than the other. Other arm across. Now we're twisting into it. Head is to the back, shoulders are down. That back is wrapped around a tall pole. We're nice and lifted even in the lower back. And we're breathing through these spinal stretches. Release the arm, come back to the front. Taking the left arm overhead, now twisting to the right, keeping that right hip into the floor. Do what you need to do with the right arm to find that resistance to twist yourself around. Make sure both shoulders are down. Breathing through this stretch. Coming back to the front. Transitioning into a glute stretch. Now we're going to stretch our bombs. You can have it either stacked one leg on top of the other, or you can overcross it. You can play with this and find what feels best for you and what the deepest stretch is. Making sure you're breathing into this, arms come overhead, relax yourself forward. The key here is to make sure your head is relaxed and you're actually letting the weight of your head help stretch you and you're looking at your belly button. Rolling back up through the spine, head is the last thing to come up, arms come overhead, breathe in, and as you let it out, stretch yourself forward. We're actively moving through this stretch to help us breathe through it and not grip any muscles, rolling in and up through the spine. Arms overhead, and as you let the air out, stretching forward, trying to release a little deeper into the stretch. If you're gripping and holding because the stretch is pretty intense, breathe through that tension. Rolling up, arms overhead, and up and forward. Let the air out deeply into the stretch. Head is nice and heavy. Walking our hands to the top leg on the right. Now we're stretching through that left side of our torso. Head is still nice and heavy, keeping that opposite hip into the floor to stay grounded. Allow that opposition to help the stretch. Walking our hands to the left side, grounding the right hip into the floor. This is just helping us get to the other areas around our glutes to get a deeper stretch and release tension we might be feeling elsewhere. Coming back to center. Rolling up through the spine. We're now going to switch legs, stretch them out if you need to for a second. You're going to find that this side might feel tighter than the other. Maybe you need to find that you can't overcross on this side. You just need to stack one on top of the other. That's okay. Whatever feels good for you here to get that deep stretch. Arms overhead, breathe in, and as you stretch forward, let it out. Head is relaxed, both hips into the floor. Rolling up, breathing in, and over and release. Head is relaxed. The weight of your torso is helping the stretch. Roll in and up, breathe in, arms and over, and let the oxygen out. Rolling up, arm ups above the head and over. Walking to your top leg to the left, keeping that right hip into the ground. Nice long stretch down the right side of the torso. Making sure you're breathing here and not holding your breath from any tension you're feeling. Walking yourself to the right side. Opposite hip is in the ground. Come back to center. Rolling up. Coming to the side on your mat. We're going to do some more spinal mobility. Bending your knees, bringing your feet flat on the mat, hands on both sides of your knees. Overextend the back here and now round and sink into the back using your core. And round up to arch it, extend, lift the chin, and release into the spine. Coming back up, overextend into the back. Shoulders are pressing down as you do this. Your knees are over the ankles and not knocking towards each other. And overextend the back. Rolling through the spine again. Coming up and overextending. Transitioning into a hamstring stretch. Legs are coming out in front of you. If your knees are slightly bent, that's okay. You're trying to lengthen your lower back as much as possible. Arms come up like we did in the glute stretch. Feet are flexed as you relax forward. Wherever you can touch on your legs is the right answer. If you can touch your feet, great. If not, that's okay. Relaxing the head as you roll up. Again, breathe in, arms come up. Release as you stretch over. Please relax the head. Looking at your belly button, the weight of your head helps with this. It also stretches into your neck and your mid-back. and the weight deepens the stretch. Rolling in and up, arms come above your head, breathe in, and stretch it over. Breathing here, even if you feel deep tension. You can bend the knees a little bit if you need to. Rolling in, arms above your head as you breathe in, and breathe out as you release into the stretch. Taking our left hand to the outside of our right foot, we're going to take our right arm and twist it behind us into a different type of stretch for our spine and the outside of our legs. Head is relaxed into it, looking in the right-handed direction. Resolve that, coming back to center. Switching sides, right hand to the outside of the left foot, left arm extends back, you're twisting to the left, head is looking to the left and relaxing. Energy is through the fingertips of the arm that's reaching behind. Coming back in, coming back to center, holding both legs evenly, and roll up. Transitioning onto our bellies on the mat to do more spinal twists. Don't get too comfortable here, we're about to start moving. Reach your right arm out to the side, bring your left arm across, and you're going to open up your right arm up and back behind you to naturally take yourself into a spinal twist. Just relax yourself, turn your head to the right to deepen the spinal twist. Your legs should be crossing and nice and heavy, aiding in the lower stretch in the back. The reason why I'm having you do different versions of spinal twists is because each twist gets to a different part of the muscles along your spine. You're coming back in, and now we're switching to the other side. Left arm reaches up and back. Head is looking back. You're going to find that one side is tighter than the other. Just breathe into it. Resolve that, coming back in. Bringing your elbows underneath you, below your shoulders, come up onto your forearms. Shoulders are down, away from your ears, and you're just pressing into your upper back. I like to actually rock my hips back and forth here to release into my lower back a little bit more. If that feels good for you, go for it. If not, don't do it. We're going to come back up onto our backs. Feet are flat on the floor. Going to go into some hip stretches and gluteal stretches. Bringing your knees up to your chest. Your hands are holding your knees and letting your legs be heavy for your arms to do the work. You're going to just move your legs around in your hip sockets, however feels good for you. Any circular patterns, waving it back and forth, one at a time. You're just going to work your hip sockets, move around the muscles, the tendons, and the ligaments to let it get a massage in there. Hugging your knees to your chest. Breathing here for a second. Chin is to your chest, so the back of the neck is nice and long on the mat. Bringing your feet back to the mat. Knees are still bent. Please keep them hip width apart so they're not falling towards each other. You're going to cross your right ankle over your left knee to make the number 4. We're about to start stretching our glutes. You're going to bring your knees up towards you. Bring your right arm through the center of your legs, your left arm on the outside. Here's another view. Right arm through the center of your legs, the left arm through the outside to either grab underneath the kneecap or on the outside of the knee to get a deeper stretch. You're going to roll towards your left hip just a little bit to make sure you're centered and getting the deepest stretch possible. Using your arms to pull your stretch into you, keeping your lower back long. Let your left leg, your foot, fall to the center line of your body. It just helps get a little bit in there in the deeper part of the tissue. Back of the neck is still long. You're breathing through this tension you're feeling. Try not to hold your breath. Let the oxygen help the blood flow to release the muscle tension. Release the foot to the mat. Keeping your foot there, you're going to cross it over as if you're sitting, and you're going to drop your legs to the left for yet another spinal twist. Head to the right, and you should feel a deepened stretch in another part of your back now. Really focusing on trying to cover all the different areas of your vertebra and all those muscles, since our backs take so much tension and so much stress for us and do so much work as we care for others. We need to give it a lot of love. Breathing into it. The more oxygen you have, the more circulation you have in the blood, which allows the more blood flow to the muscles that are tight, which will allow them to release and not have as much strain. Coming back up to that number 4 position, now we're going to drop that right knee to the floor, keeping that shape in your knees though, in your legs. Coming back up to neutral, unwind the legs, feet back on the mat. Now we're going to switch to the other side. Left ankle, right knee. Pull your knee towards you, bring your left arm through the center this time, your right arm on the outside of the knee. You can hold it underneath the kneecap or on the outside of the shin. Rolling towards your right hip just a little bit, right foot relaxed towards the center line. Back of the neck is long. Your arms are doing the work to pull the legs in for the stretch. Your legs are heavy and relaxing into it to let the muscle tension release. Focusing on your breath here, breathing in and out. Each time you breathe out, let the tension release a little bit more. Bringing the foot down, crossing that leg all the way over, dropping your knees to the right, head to the left for a deepened spinal twist, our theme for the day. Breathing into this. You might feel the stretch happening in a different part of your spine than you did on the other side. That's okay. Both sides of our body are not equal in the strength that they have and how they support one another. So you will feel different intensities in your stretches on different sides of your body. Coming back up, keeping that number 4 shape, you dropped your leg to the left. Coming back to the number 4 shape, unwind the legs, coming back to neutral, feet on the mat, knees are bent. Legs are hip width apart. We're now bringing our feet connected together. I walked my feet out a little bit away from me, opened up my knees into a diamond shape. Arms are down by my sides, palms are up to the ceiling, back of the neck is long, and I'm just trying to relax here as I let the weight of my legs open up and let my legs in my hip area stretch. You'll feel this either in your inner thighs, around your hips, and your glutes. You might feel this in multiple areas. Just breathe here. Resolving that. Now we're going to roll back over to our stomachs to now stretch our quad muscles, the front of our legs. Bringing your left hand underneath your forehead, bring your right foot up as much as you can to your right glute, grabbing that foot with your right arm. Keeping your right hip in the floor, you're going to gently pull your right foot to your right glute. If you want a deeper stretch, you can come up a little bit more into it with your upper body. Release that leg, switching to the left side. Hand is underneath the right forehead. Left hand is to left foot. Keeping your shoulders and your hips square. If you need to come up a little bit with your chest to get a deeper stretch, you can. You're trying to keep the front of your hips nice and long. Release that. We're going to come back up to sitting on the mat. Moving into stretching our upper backs now. One of my favorite stretches of all time, actually. Just comfortably sitting however you want your legs crossed. Bring your arms out to your side. You're going to bring your right arm in front of you 90 degrees. Bring your left arm underneath. It looks kind of crazy. Watch here from the side. Right arm 90 degrees. Left arm swings underneath. You're grabbing your thumb now with the arm that's underneath. Trying to pull that thumb towards you while keeping your arms nice and tall. You're gently pressing your shoulders down as you lift your elbows up as you get a deeper stretch. You're going to start to feel this along your upper back over your shoulder blades. And it's really opening up the muscles that kind of hold onto your neck muscles and keep the tension there. You can slowly tilt it from side to side to find that it gets you in a deeper stretch. If it feels good for you, go for it. If not, don't do that portion. You're keeping your forearms at a 90-degree angle as well. Release, shoulder roll, breathe, switching to the other side. Left arm 90 degrees, swing your arm underneath. Grab that thumb, pull your thumb towards your face. Shoulders down, elbows coming up for that resistance in the stretch. 90 degrees with the shape of the arms. Breathing here. When you're ready, you can start to tilt it from side to side, just to see if that feels good for you. Try to sit nice and tall in your lower back. You might find that this feels amazing and you stay here a little bit longer than I'm talking, and that's okay. You can catch back up. I do this one often as someone who holds my kids a lot, from having to sit at my computer, just so much tension in my upper back. I found that this stretch really helps open up my neck and allows me to get deeper into my neck stretches as well. Releasing that, roll the shoulders. Still sitting nice and tall, we're going to go into a neck stretch. Right arm overhead, place gently on the opposite side of the head. Keeping your shoulders away from your ears, you're going to gently lengthen your head to the right. Left arm is extended out in that opposition. Sitting nice and tall. This shouldn't be painful, but a good deep stretch. Dropping your chin to your chest, keep it on that diagonal. Now using the hand to pull from the back of the head. The left arm is extending behind you to keep that diagonal line for the longest stretch possible. Release that, roll back up. Switching sides, left arm onto the right side of the head. Gently pull it away. Right arm is reaching out on the mat in opposition. Your ears and your shoulders are not touching, is the goal. Drop your chin to your chest, hand on the back of the head. Bring your right arm behind you to keep that diagonal line for the deepest stretch. Breathe through this, still sitting tall. Release it, rolling back up through the center. Just turning your head side to side like we did at the beginning, finding that movement again, feeling if there's any tension release now, maybe you have a little bit more mobility, tilting it side to side. Chin to chest, and those half circles we did at the beginning, just taking it from chin to shoulder, back to chin, and feeling those muscles work themselves out. We're going to come back to our breathing exercise. Right hand to heart center, left hand to belly, eyes closed. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Release 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4. Again in 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4, and out 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4. Stay here, eyes closed, breathing. Remind yourself that you are strong, you are loving, you are caring, but most importantly, you are you. No one else can do what you do. You have to take care of yourself first in order to be able to serve those around you who you strive to serve every day. You are amazing, you are loving, you are kind, you are brave.